Good afternoon, good morning, good night. Well, don't go to sleep yet, but welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling good. Thank you. Today, we're going to listen to a band that you guys have been recommending to me for quite a while. We're going to listen to Gang of Four with their track Love Like Anthrax. This is off of their debut album, Entertainment, which was released in 1979. As we've been listening to punk and post-punk and this punk and that punk and Daft Punk, you guys have been recommending me a bunch of different bands, and while I'm kind of staying towards, and I'm keeping like Buzzcocks in mind because I'm really enjoying them. We just listened to Magazine a little bit ago, and I really enjoyed that. But you guys have been telling me that's more like kind of getting into like the post-punk kind of thing. I don't know. Regardless, it's music that I've never heard and it's new to me. So we're going to continue down this alley. We're going to listen to Gang of Four. Now, you guys have told me that they are more post-punk, so I will not call them punk. I know I've mislabeled bands a couple of times. But regardless, I'm excited to listen to this one. Just to throw out some of the names who have recommended this particular track. Javier Tenes. Am I pronouncing your last name right? I'm sorry, Javier. Hugo Montoya recommended this. Stevius recommended this. IMB Wild Road recommended this. Lance Cornell. There's quite a few of you. Stevius again. There you go. Yeah, there's a few of you. So let's go ahead and listen to Gang of Four. I've never heard of them. Don't know anything about them. But I'm sure I'm going to find out about them. Let's go. All right. That was way, way different than what I was expecting or thinking or anything. Like, completely different. Um, let's break it down. Let's talk this one out. So, all the distortion, all the feedback that's going on in the beginning, I think it's a cool intro. It almost went on a little bit too long, but it's a cool intro. And there's something noteworthy about that part that we'll kind of touch on later, because it does have a meaning, I would imagine, the way that it's placed there in the beginning of this track. But then, once the drums come in, yes. Then the bass, big bottom bass, bum 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 bum. Oh, come on. That's hitting the right spot. Absolutely. And then what I think is cool is the way that that distortion keeps on raining during that momentum, and then it'll just completely cut out, and you're just left with the drums and the bass. And it's that empty space that all of a sudden creates this completely different kind of ambience, and then the guitar will start to growl and roar back into the forefront, and then it cuts back again. I just think that that wave of distortion that constantly comes back and forth, that shift between chaos and, in a sense, peace, is just really cool. I like the way they utilize that a lot. The dual vocal style, that was completely left field, but how awesome did it sound? I thought it sounded awesome. So you have one singer who's singing in a very, like standard kind of way, and then you have someone else who's speaking underneath it. The coolest thing about that is when they come on each other's lines and they speak the same lines at the same time. So they're on completely two different tracks. They're basically a Venn diagram, They're doing this kind of thing. And then they're completely in different paths, but occasionally they meet in the middle, they intersect for a line, and then they go back to their separate ways. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot, and I think that that's really unique. To be honest, I can't say that I've heard anything like that. I don't think I've heard anything like that done so distinctly. It really is two completely different deliveries here in the track. So I think that was actually really cool. Talking about what I was going to mention about but the feedback and the distortion in the beginning, something of note is that this is the last track on the album. So that long build-up in the beginning could be, of course, continuous leftovers from the last track, or previous track on the album, which would be 5.45. So you don't know how that song kind of helps lead into the finale of the album. So in that sense, I think you have to kind of take that into consideration when you're listening to this, because obviously I'm listening to this track because it was recommended to me. Now seeing that it's the last track on their album, you have to kind of take that in consideration with the feedback and the way that it built up there, So I think that's really cool. This was a really cool song. Like when it got into it, I love that vocal style though. I think that was stunningly unique. Here on the personnel, you're going to have, hold on, that's going to be John King, and then also Andy Gill. So I don't know who's exactly doing which part of the vocals, but those are the two vocalists. They're also playing the guitar, Dave Allen on bass, and then Hugo Burnham on the drums. Let's go into these lyrics here, though. Which, there were two different sets of lyrics and stories to follow, so honestly, I wasn't even looking at them. Woke up this morning. Let's do it like this. I'm going to read, in a sense, the lyrics from part A, which is going to be John King, and I think he's the one that's singing in that more traditional manner. I'm just going to read his lyrics straight through, and then I'll read the B section straight through, and we'll see where those intersections kind of are. So let's start with the beginning. Woke up this morning, desperation AM. What I've been saying won't say them again. My head's not empty, it's full with my brain. The thoughts I'm thinking like piss down the drain. And I feel like a beetle on its back, and there's no way for me to get up. Love get you like a case of anthrax, and that's something I don't want to catch. It's because these groups think there's something very special about it. Either that or else it's because everybody else sings about it and always has. To burst into song and you have to be inspired, and nothing inspires quite like love. So he's comparing love to anthrax, in which, yes, it's going to get you, but it's not going to have the effect, at least perhaps for him, that it has on everyone else. These groups and singers think that they appeal to everyone by singing about love because apparently everyone has or can love. I said to myself, or so they would have you believe anyway. But these groups, like a beetle on its back, to go along with that, the belief that love is deep in everyone's personality, I don't think we're saying anything's wrong with love. We just don't think that what goes on between two people should be shrouded with mystery. Okay, so that's his lines that he's singing, like through the song. That's really cool, and I love the very straightforward approach. Like the way that it's sung and that it's written is written just like an article that you would read in a magazine or a book on online somewhere. It's just very direct, and I like that a lot. It's kind of an interesting lyrical style to go along with the delivery. Then getting to the B section, which is going to be Andy Gill. I think this is the speaking part going on underneath the music. Love crops up quite a lot as something to sing about because most groups make most of their songs about falling in love or happy or how happy they are. To be in love, you occasionally wonder why these groups do sing about it all the time. Piss down the drain. So that's the line that they both, intersected on. Piss down the drain or down a drain. It's because these groups think there's something very special. Oh, I guess he's repeating those lines. Okay, so Andy Gill is repeating those lines a little bit here. Huh. This is cool. Sorry, I'm reading the lyrics now, and that's just really cool. I like the way it's written. I love the way the two singers are singing / speaking underneath the music. Because they could have gone with just one version, but they must have at some point said, let's just toss them both in and see what happens. And I think that that's a really cool experiment, the way it came up. It's like, whoever took peanut butter and whoever took chocolate, yeah, smash them together, and all of a sudden you got a recipe for candy for the rest of the world. You got some Reese's Pieces. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the track. You can let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel on Patreon if you would like to help me in that regard. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the music. Hope you enjoyed some of myself. And I will see you guys later. Bye.